What up, BookTube? Sandy Golson back here, and I am getting ready to give you my June 2022 TBR. We know how this goes. Typically, you put a lot of books on there that you're thinking about reading, and then you, of the 10 books that you put forward, you read like 2, and then you read like 6 others that you never even thought about reading because you never knew that you were going to read, but somehow it got in front of you, whether as an audio book, as an ebook, someone loaned it to you, you found it at the library, or whatever, and it totally blows up in your face. But it's still fun to do these anyway, so I'm going to do it anyway. Hope you stay tuned. So my first cluster of 3 books that I'm going to look at has one that I've had in my possession for a while. It was in another room in my house that I don't use as much anymore, and I went back and finally grabbed it out of that room so I could start to look at it, and that is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. This is a sister book that has sisters that are living in 2 different worlds, one black, one white. It's very it's been a very well-received book. It was the 2020 Book of the Year for Book of the Month. You can see the little gold star, gold sticker right there on the book. So this is one that I'm definitely excited about reading. I think it might be the first book that I'm going to jump into in the month of June. So stay tuned for that one. Next up is the Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. Simone St. James is an author that I've really been excited about since I read The Sundown Motel, which was a surprise favorite of mine that I really enjoyed. And so after reading The Sundown Motel and really getting into that one, I thought, you know what, why not come back to this one? And very similar to The Sundown Motel, she does this one in 2 different storylines. One is in 1977 and the other is in 2017. The inside cover says, "Some crimes come back to haunt you. A true crime blogger gets more than she bargained for while interviewing the woman acquitted of 2 cold case slayings in this chilling new novel from the best-selling author of The Sundown Motel." So I am definitely excited about this one. I think it's going to be one that I think I'm going to enjoy. I started it once before, but I was in my reading slump, and so I didn't really get a chance to really get into it the way that I wanted to. So I'm looking forward to getting back into that one. And then lastly in this cluster of 3 is a book that I picked up, Writers and Lovers by Lily King. And this book, I've seen people talk about it before. It has a very interesting cover here that I found kind of intriguing as well. It says, following the extraordinary success of her best-selling award-winning novel, Euphoria, Lily King returns with an unforgettable portrait of an artist as a young woman. Blindsided by her mother's sudden death and wrecked by a recent love affair, Casey Peabody has arrived in Cambridge, Massachusetts in the summer of 1997 without a plan. Her mail consists of wedding invitations and final notices from debt collections. A former child golf prodigy, she now waits tables in Harvard Square and rents a tiny, moldy room at the side of a garage, where she works on the novel she's been writing for 6 years. At 39, Casey is still clutching onto something nearly all her, gotta go to the back cover, old friends have let go of, the determination to live a creative life. When she falls for 2 very different men at the same time, her world fractures even more. So there's more to read there, but you get the picture of what's going on there. So I scanned past this book many times, and for whatever reason, the last time I scanned past it, I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this one a try because it does sound very interesting. So, Writers and Lovers by Lily King. Looking forward to that one. My next cluster of 3 is all from the same author, and it's basically part of a set. And this is an author, and this is a set that I have really been excited about. And I finally got around to picking it up. Karen M. McManus is the author, and the first of us is One of Us is Lying. The second one is the sequel, One of Us is Next. And the third is you'll be the death of me. So I am excited about this one. You've got students in detention. That immediately brings up kind of images for me, being a little bit older, of the Breakfast Club. So I guess it's something like the Breakfast Club with someone dying. It sounds interesting to me enough right there. So it was enough for me to take the bait. And then the second one comes in and kind of picks up, anew, and then I'm looking forward to the most recent one that came out. So I'm excited about jumping into these. Karen McManus stories have always intrigued me, and she's got more even beyond these. So I'm definitely looking forward to jumping into some Karen McManus. Next cluster of 3 starts with Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I've had a lot of success with Taylor Jenkins Reid books, so I'm definitely have been interested in this one. It takes us back to 1983, an epic party, and lives are changed forever in this epic party. So interested in this one. I've read a couple of Taylor Jenkins Reid books before, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I really liked, and Daisy Jones and the Six, which I also really liked. So looking forward to this one. She also has a book coming out, I believe, later this summer too, that I'm interested in as well. So Taylor Jenkins Reid hasn't done me wrong yet, so I'm looking forward to reading Malibu Rising. Next up is The Maid, and this is a book that's been very popular. Nita Prose is the author. On the inside cover, it says, "A dead body is one mess she can't clean up on her own." So this is one I'm looking forward to. It looks to be a fairly fast read, so I'm excited about this one. I've seen some people talking about it. I'm really hesitant to look into the reviews because I've been burned in the past by seeing reviews where spoilers are given away without a spoiler warning. So this book seems too interesting to me to risk being spoiled. So looking forward to reading The Maid. Next up is The Agathas by Kathleen Glasgow and Liz Lawson. And this one is very interesting to me because it immediately made me think about Agatha Christie and her mysterious disappearance that people still talk about. Anyway, the inside cover says, "Welcome to Castle Cove." Castle Cove makes me think of the one episode of Murder, She Wrote, where the author wrote the book The Sins of Castle Cove and kind of spilled the beans on a lot of stuff that was going on in town to get revenge against people that had done her or her family wrong. So anyway, that's a sidebar for those older people who are watching this video. Anyway, it says, "Welcome to Castle Cove, a town cursed with missing girls, bad boyfriends, family secrets, and some very steep cliffs." So this one just sounded really interesting to me. I had put myself on a book buying ban, but I lifted it because this one just sounded very, very interesting. The last cluster of 3 includes The President's Daughter by Bill Clinton and James Patterson. The President is Missing was a story that I really enjoyed by this duo. President Clinton and James Patterson really put together a book that was really, really good. It was incredible detail. And looking at the size of this one, I'm thinking that this one's going to have a lot of incredible behind-the-scenes detail as it focuses on a president whose daughter goes missing, abducted by a madman, and the president has to kind of figure it out on his own, largely on his own. It was my memory of what was going on here. So I'm really excited about this one. And the last collaboration between these two, again, there was just tremendous detail, behind the scenes stuff that, would take a regular person like me incredible time to research and probably people to interview. But when you have somebody who's been on the inside, maybe access to those people as well as personal memory of things that go on the inside in terms of President Clinton, that is something that probably gives them a huge advantage. So looking forward to reading this one. I know I've had this on my TBR several times, but I'm looking forward to really getting to it this time. Next up is The Hunting Wives by May Cobb, and I'm trying not to lose my space here. I'm using the inside cover here to hold my bookmark here. This is one that I started reading, and it's off to a pretty good start so far. I'm 2 chapters in. The Hunting Wives share more than target practice, martinis, and bad behavior in this novel of obsession, seduction, and murder. Well, damn, I mean, how much more do you need than that? There's some good stuff going on there, so I'm excited about jumping into this one or getting back into this one. I already started again, as I said, 2 chapters in, and pretty good so far. Looking forward to more. The Hunting Wives by May Cobb. And lastly is The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn, and this is one of those kind of like the Rear Window Alfred Hitchcock movie sort of thing going on. It isn't paranoia if it's really happening, is kind of the subtitle on the inside. And Anna Fox lives alone, a recluse in her New York City home, unable to venture outside. She spends her days drinking wine, maybe too much, watching old movies, recalling happier times, and spying on her neighbors. So again, you get that Rear Window kind of thing. Rear Window is one of my favorite movies and an incredible classic. So I'm excited about this one. She starts to observe, I'll just finish reading. Then the Russells move into the house across the way. A father, a mother, their teenage son. The perfect family. But when Anna, gazing out her window one night, sees something she shouldn't, her world begins to crumble and its shocking secrets are laid bare. So I'm excited about this one, kind of the voyeuristic thing going on here, you know, with Rear Window. It's a thing that people have done before, but I'm excited about reading this one. It sounds very interesting. I do like this concept, so always curious to see people who take this concept and add their vision to it. I'm always curious how they make it work. So looking forward to reading The Woman in the Window. So there you have it. That's what I'm thinking about so far. At this early stage, looking ahead to the month of June 2022, I think there's some interesting books here that I have on tap, and I'm looking forward to getting into as many of them as possible. Probably not going to get them all read. That would be a record reading month for me. Not saying it can't be done, but we shall see. But definitely excited about jumping into these books and to get back into doing my TBRs. So hope you guys had a great month of reading in May, and hope you have an even better month of reading in June.